It's posturing. It doesn't have as much of an effect because of the internet. Because most kids, if they're going to be getting, well, one, just unsuitable content, like I'm constantly having to monitor, algorithmic recommendations that come up for my kids because there's things I just don't want them to watch. They're going to find it online. They're not going to be going to the library, like looking for the unfit passages where they could like find some sort of dirty book or just flat out hardcore pornography anywhere they want on the internet. They can find snuff videos on the internet. Like we as parents have an obligation to try to keep them, from accidentally seeing something like that. But I think that our legislatures, they want to seem like they're part of this culture war. They want to seem, like they're really fighting, the big fight against what, Elon Musk is now calling like the woke virus. Like this is their empty gesture that they cling to because they want to cover up the fact that they're actually rolling in dark money and not doing anything to serve the public. So they're like, ha ha ha, we're watching out for children. We're trying to ban books. I mean, you can write in and protest. I guess I would recommend calling over emailing. I think they possibly just delete them. But, I would also recommend encouraging, wherever you live, your local media to cover this and for them to interview people about what they think of it. Because like I'm saying, I think, most Missourians were on the same page, literally here, as in, we want the pages to remain in the library and we do not want the GOP to remove them. And just to sort of eliminate this idea that we're in like a two America situation or a 50-50 situation. Like we're not. We're in a situation where there is tyrannical minority rule in an attempt to put in policies that, generally speaking, very few people want. And then they try to portray them as if it's some sort of like equal struggle. Like you got to show both sides. Like, no, this is one of these, lopsided struggles where people more or less agree and they desperately need to not portray it that way.
Democrats and Republicans all feed at the same corporate genocidal trough. That's why they're so vicious, the Democrats are, to their progressive wing. That's why they're willing to sabotage their own party and lose control of the House in order to combat progressives. What was really, I have to keep pointing this out, when Pelosi came to power on that blue wave in 2018 and paraded around saying that Trump is just not worth it, and had her DM groups on Twitter parroting the line that Pelosi dismissing impeaching Trump, even though we all showed up to the polls in 2018 to empower her to do just that. And all these DM groups are saying, oh, Pelosi's playing 4D chess. She had all of her moderates and conservatives in the Democratic Party coming out openly against impeaching Trump and making all sorts of excuses. Meanwhile, Trump is committing crimes. And she had to get dragged into impeaching Trump. And then what happens in the next election in 2020, her candidates that were coming out against impeaching Trump, they get defeated and more progressives come in, giving the progressive wing of the Democratic Party greater negotiating leverage. And so that's what they wanted to clearly avoid in this 2022 election. They wanted to stab in the back any progressive Democrats. They wanted to, sabotage those elections. We could have held the House, is what I'm saying. We could have held the House in this climate. But it's very clear that Pelosi and Sean Patrick Maloney, serving her interests, as rich as he is as well, did not want to, for that very same reason.